Okay guys, so the next question that you are going to do is range addition. Obviously this question is there in Lintcode, but it is it is locked, like in free tier it is locked. So this is Lintcode, which is a Chinese copy of the same website of Lintcode. But the only problem is I will not be able to show you after running it, because I am for some reason I am not able to log in. But okay, I will be understanding the approach, and I'll also write the code. You can try it from your end. If you face any problem, you can contact me in college only, right? So what I am saying is, let us start with reading the question. It says that assume that you have an array of length n initialized with all zeros and are given k update operations. So you are having an initial array of size n where all zeros are there, and you are given k update options. Now what are these update options? Each operation is represented as a triplet. So one update operation, there are k update operations, each one of them is represented in the form of a triplet, that is 3 integers represent a single thing. What are the 3 indexes or 3 integers? First one is your starting index, then your ending index, and then is your increment, which increment each element of subarray in between start index and end index. So basically, right, return the modified array after all k operations were executed. So let me show you. I have already copied this example. So if there is a if the length that is given is 5, so you have an array of 5, size 5, where all elements are 0, then you are given these 3 update operations, where this first thing, it represents your starting index, then it represents ending index, and then represent the increment amount. Basically from index 1 to 3 you need to add 2 to all the indexes. So you can see over here, if the normal array was starting array initial state, it was all zeros, then in between from index 1 to index 3 both inclusive, from index 1 to index 3 all the elements should be added with what? 2. See, this is index 1, this is index 3. So from index 1 to 3 we have added 2 to all the elements. After that, on this array we need to perform this 2 for 3 updation, this second k updation. From index 2 to 4 we need to update by 3. So this is your index 2, it was 2 plus 3 is 5, then plus 3 to 5, then over here this was 0, it was also added to 3 by 3. After that, from index 0 to index 2 I have decremented all the values with minus 2, like incremented with minus 2. So 0 became minus 2, 2 became 0, and 5 became 3. I hope this is clear guys. This example is clear. I think this is what I have taken. I will show you on my end as well another time. So first you have a array of length 5, right? So you make an empty array of length 5. The index will run from 0 to 4, right? And initialize everything with 0. Everything is initialized with 0. After that, this particular, there are k, this is k equals to 1, this is k equals to 2, and this is k equals to 3. So basically these 3 updation you need to perform. The first index of this updation, all this first index guys, all the first indices, all these things basically gives you start index, this gives you end index, and this gives you the increment amount. So in the first case, if you see, what do we do in the first case? What do we do? 1 3 2, that means from index 1 till 3 all these indexes must be incremented with a value of 2. So what will happen? 0 2 2 2 and 0. After this, from index, let me again index it up, from index 2 to 4, from index 2 to 4 all the values will be incremented by 3. So 0 2 will be as it is, then all these indices will be incremented by 3. So this becomes 5, this becomes 5, this becomes 3. Then from 0 to 2, 0 1 2 3 4, from 0 to 2 what do we need to do? Do minus 2 for all the elements. So 0 becomes minus 2, 2 becomes 0, 5 becomes 3, then 5 and 3 remains as it is. So this is the final array that I should return. This is our final array. So this is our job. So obviously guys, the brute force technique is making an array of length 5. After that you will suppose the name of this array is updates. So you basically run, you take updates dot length n equals to, suppose you take length of updates which is 3, then you run from 0 to less than 3. After that what do? You run from 0 to less than 3, and then what do you do is, for every iteration you run from updates of I 0 to updates of I1 right? From updates of I0 to I1 you run. So basically from start index to end index you run your loop, and then with every index, with every array index you increment updates of I2. This is your updates of 1 0, then 1 1, then 1 2, right? I can represent this as I0, as value of I goes from 0 till 2. So I can say I0, then I1, which represent 1 0, then 1 1, then I2 in the first iteration. For the first iteration, when value of I is 1, then this I0 will become 2 0, 2 1 and 2 2 when value of I is 2. Then obviously it will end for this case when k is 3. I hope this is clear, guys. This is how the question is. This is the input and output, and the brute force is basically you are running from one end to another end, which is a lot of time complexity, because if you see the constraints, are there constraints given over here? Okay, so the constraints are not given over here, but you can see that these numbers can be very big, right? These numbers from 1 to 3, it can be very big. Iterating this array is one thing, and iterating all the integers which lies between these two integers, that is another thing. Maybe you are getting the fact that how much big of a thing this is. If the maximum allowed value of k is suppose 10 to the power of 5, that is something, whereas all the values of updates can be also ranging to 10 to the power of 5. What if it is 1 to 10 to the power of 5, then it is 1 to 10 to the power of 5, this again is 10 from 10 to 10 to the power of 5. So all the individual inner arrays will run from that for that long, which is not desirable, right? So instead of that, we can do a very beautiful approach. Now if I want to give a full introduction about the procedure that we want to follow, then it is going to be a long time. But as you guys are in STEM and honors, I feel like you have already done some question of prefix sum in the previous semester at least. If yes, we can continue. Otherwise, what you can do is we are having certain prefix sum questions mapped to the latter part of this 60 days of code. You can just wait for that to finish and then come back over here. Basically, if you have done questions, I personally have done questions like points that intersect with cars on Lintcode, and also maximum population here in Lintcode. I have done that particular thing in class. Those questions are very much aligned with this question. If you have done those questions, as soon as you find out the question, as soon as you read the question, immediately that approach should come to your mind, which is a prefix sum approach. So let me show you how the prefix sum approach works, guys. See over here, it is 1, 3 and 2, right? Let me again copy this thing. I will just clear these things. Okay, so suppose first of all I will make an array of size 5, that is for sure. The range, the index will run from 0 till 4, right? After that, you see what we are saying is we will be incrementing indexes 1 till 3 with a value of 2. So what we do, whatever is the start index now, we do plus 2 over there only. So initially the values were all zeros. Now what we do plus 2 in all the starting, like whatever the value is, we do increment that much in the starting index. So index 1 will be incremented by 2. So what will be the value? It was 0, it will become plus 2, it will become 2. And whatever the end index is, don't do anything over there. What do you do is, after this index, suppose this is 3 row, right? So in fourth index, you will do minus whatever the value of this is, right? So you will not do anything at index 3, you will do in index 3 plus 1. So basically in index 4, what you will do is, you will do minus 2. So it was earlier 0, it becomes minus 2. Now why do we do this? Now if I just show you a single iteration, after doing this, I have just updated 2 points. These are constant time operations, right? I am just iterating through this array. In the starting index I have done plus 2, and in the ending index plus 1 I have done minus 2. Now if I just sum this up, now guys, if I do cumulative sum, suppose up till here the sum is 0, up till here it is 0 plus 2, which is 2, up till here, then up till index 2 the summation is 2 plus 0 again is 2, again it is 2, cumulative sum, then 2 plus minus 2 is 0. So can you see, whatever this particular k equals to 1 update wanted me to do, that is been done with the help of these two operations. of incrementing the starting index by whatever the increment value is and decrementing the end index plus 1 with whatever the increment value is. Similarly, if we continue, guys, if we continue, I hope you find out why you are doing this. Now, if we continue over here in index 2, I should do plus 3. So, in index 2, it was 0, I did plus 3. So, it becomes 0 plus 3, 3. And at index 4, we won't do anything in index 4, we will do in 4 plus 1. So, as 4 plus 1 the index is not present, so we will ignore, we don't need to do minus, because obviously 4 plus 5 will be index out of bound. So, we ignore that. After that, at index 0, what do? We have to do minus 2 this time. Obviously, the increment value is only minus 2, so we have to do minus 2 only. So, in index 0, what I will do is, I will do minus 2. So, it was earlier 0, then it became minus 2. And then, we have to do plus 2 at index 3. So, index 3, at index 3, it is 0 only. So, it is 0 only, we do minus 2. So, basically, there could be a interval, there could be an update that would have merged it. For example, there can be something like 0, 1 and 3. So, in that case, what you need to do is, from index 0 to 1, you need to increment by 3. So, in 0, the value is minus 2. With minus 2, you would add 3 and it would result to minus 1. You are getting the point, right? Whatever the value was, with that you are incrementing. You are not assigning it to a value of 3 or 2 or minus 2. You are not doing that. Whatever the earlier value was, initially all of them are 0. Eventually, it will get some values, and whatever the value is remaining at present, with that value you should do plus the increment amount or minus the incremented amount. So, I hope this is clear how we are coming to this particular state from 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 to this state. Starting index, we are doing plus the increment amount. In ending index plus 1, we are doing the increment, we are decrementing the increment basically. Okay. And if obviously if we have a index which is ending index equals to n minus 1, then we ignore that because n is not a valid index. After that, we do cumulative sum. Obviously, up till here the sum is minus 2. Up till here minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Up till here it is 3. Up till here it is 3 minus 2, 1. Up till here it is 1 minus 2 is minus 3. So, I hope this is see 2 0 3 5 3. This is the array. First, initially all of them were 0. After that, in index 1 we did plus 2. So, over here it became 2, and at index 4 I did minus 2. After that, at index 2 I did plus 3. At index 4 minus plus 1 we do minus 3. So, basically we do not care. In 0 we do minus 2, and at 3, index 2 is the ending index. So, at index 3 we do plus 2. Okay, we do plus 2. I think here was the mistake. So, now we do cumulative sum. Up till here the sum is minus 2. Then up till 1 the sum is minus 2 plus 2, which is 0. Up till here it is 3. Up till here it becomes 5. Up till here it becomes 3. So, minus 2 0 3 5 3. Minus 2 0 3 5 3. This is the answer. I hope this is clear how we are doing it. We are just iterating through this array once. So, whatever your dimension of update is, m cross n or whatever is, that is our order of that much only we are having. Previously it was much more greater, right? We were traveling all the integers individually in linear form from here till here. Here we are just iterating through this array once, and the whatever length is given, that much length also we are iterating. That's it guys, if I just code it up for you guys. And obviously this approach is nothing new. We have already, if you have done prefix sum on double dimension arrays like points that intersect with cars and maximum population here, this kind of question, or in code forces you can find coffee with Karen and all these questions. These are all prefix sum questions guys, right? So they are solved in this way only, in cumulative sum approach, doing adding in the starting range and decrementing from the ending plus 1. We have done this a lot of times in the previous semester only. So I will quickly show you the code. So what I can do is, here I will have to take the value of k, which is your length of this updates array, will be giving you how many k updates you have to do. So int k equals to basically updates dot length, size of this updates array. After that I will make an answer array which is equal to the size of the length that is given to us. After that, in Java, basically obviously from default only the values are 0, we don't need to set it to 0 anytime, but if you are doing in it in any other programming language, please initialize all the values with 0 first. After that we need to increment this updates array. Int I equals to 0, I must be less than k, I plus plus. Then what we need to do is, in this array we need to make changes. So in answer of updates of the starting index is what, 0 0 0, or basically this thing will be I0, because I will be changing. First time it will be 0 0, when I becomes 1 it will be 1 0, then 2 0. Basically this is 0 0, this is 1 0, this is 2 0. So basically I am doing I0, that is my starting index. Starting index will be incremented by updates of I2. So because the increment value is present over here, so this is 0 2, this is 1 2, this is 2 2. So I2 will be your increment value. After that I need to check if it is not the last index, because for the last index if I do index plus 1, then it will be array index out of bound. So if I check my updates of I and 1 this time, because I am looking for ending index, if that is not equals to n minus 1, if that is the case, then what do we do? Answer of updates of I1 will be decrementing it with updates of I2, not this but this plus 1, this index plus 1. So if it is n minus 1, if it is equal to n minus 1 guys, then with plus 1 it will go to n. N is not a valid index, n is the size of the array, the valid index is 0 to n minus 1. So that is why this extra check we had to do for decrementing it. And after doing this, for every, basically I will be running one time. From here I will do plus 2 for at index 1, minus 2 at index 4, then I will do plus 3 at index 2, minus 2 at index 5, well 5 is not an index, then I will do minus 2 at 0, plus 2 at 3. After that what do I need to do? I need to take a variable sum which is equals to 0. After, because I need to calculate the cumulative sum, right? Then I will go from int I equals to 0 till I less than length. This time, previous time I traveled for k, this array I traveled, but this time I need to travel through the entire answer array. So answer array's length is length I plus plus. Sum I will do sum equals to sum plus the current element, that is nums of answer of I. After that answer of I will be assigned with the value of sum. This is how we calculate our cumulative sum, and at the end we need to return what? Answer array, whole answer array I need to return. So guys, I will not be able to run the test, but I am 99% sure I have written the right code. Just let me check once. So basically this particular thing will run from I equals to 0 to less than k. It will increment the increment all the starting indexes, and if the range is valid, then it will also decrement in the ending indexes. How much increment amount is given, that much, either plus equals to or minus equals to. After that I will do the sum thing and I will return the answer. I hope this is clear guys. Thank you.